Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and today we're going to go over the article from Redfin that goes into the fact that they just stepped away from the National Association of Realtors. This is massive news, but what I want to point out is more than likely all this is a ploy for Redfin to appear that they're the good guys and the National Association is the bad guys. So basically what I see here is kind of like my enemies fighting it out, and hopefully the best one is going to be left standing. But regardless, you guys, the National Association of Realtors right now is plagued by lawsuits, sexual harassment, changes in leadership, multiple class action lawsuits about commission. They're forcing sellers to pay the buyer's commission, all kinds of crazy stuff. And they're the #1 lobbyist in the entire US. They're spending so much money with politicians, it's absolutely crazy. But again, all I think Redfin is really doing here, they see the writing on the wall. They know the industry is going to change. Hopefully one day consumers will have access to MLS. And what I mean specifically, sold data. That is really the advantage of accessing MLS. We need to know what homes are selling for, right? And we need to be able to analyze that data to make informed decisions about purchasing real estate. So I'm all for, give the consumer access to MLS. Let's teach them how to review comp data. But regardless, you guys, whatever their intentions are, there is a battle brewing with the National Association of Realtors, and Redfin trying to leave the National Association of Realtors is one of the dominoes that's starting to fall. Now, the name of this article is simple: Redfin is leaving NAR. It's really crazy to be reading this. Now, a couple bullet points that Redfin is saying the reason why they're leaving the National Association of Realtors. So #1, NAR policies requiring a fee for the buyer's agent on every listing. But I honestly don't buy that because their agents, I can pretty much guarantee, are having the seller pay the buyer's closing costs as well. And now #2 is a really big deal: a pattern, not just one situation, a pattern of alleged sexual harassment. Really wild stuff. We've had many meetings with NAR executives to explore compromises on the policies that would let us continue our support. Since a Redfin-wide initiative to join NAR in 2017, we've paid more than $13 million in dues in an effort to influence NAR to advocate for an open, technology-driven marketplace that would benefit consumers. We'll now explore other ways to advance those goals. Really crazy. And one thing I'm not going to talk about that Todd Sachs over at Sachs Realty uncovered was the fact that NAR is also investing in fractional ownership. Basically, NAR appears to be training realtors to be replaceable. Looks like they're pushing for AI and fractional institutional investing. It's really quite shocking. A pattern of alleged sexual harassment. We've already been uncomfortable with NAR's positions on commissions when we read reports of sexual behavior and sexual harassment by the NAR's president. You guys see how it starts at the top? Starts at the top. I mean, this is a horrible situation. And others, based on interviews with 29 former NAR employees. NAR was aware of the allegation for months, and in some cases even for years, but reacted only when those allegations became public and only after the CEO said there wasn't a problem. So he was lying, he was caught lying, there was a huge problem. Many employees described a culture of intimidation and retribution. Many are still calling for more accountability. And that statement right there is one of the primary reasons that I believe the entire industry needs to be re-regulated. I mean, think about it. Intimidation and retribution, that's how that's from the top? No wonder why realtors are doing a horrible job, am I right? Resigning from the NAR board. Redfin has already resigned our national board seat this year in June, before the alleged sexual harassment came to light. In the many marketplaces governed by its policies, NAR still blocks sellers from listing their homes. They don't pay a commission to the buyer's agent. And it blocks websites, this is crazy, like Redfin from showing for sale by owner listings alongside agent listed homes. That's crazy. So in order for Redfin to be associated with NAR, to access MLS, they don't allow Redfin to show for sale by owner listings. That's really kind of crazy. That's kind of like a monopoly, isn't it? Removing these blocks would be easy, and it would make our industry more consumer friendly and competitive. And I 100% agree with that statement. So even though I kind of think that Redfin's wants to paint themselves as the hero here, they got some pretty valid points here. This is also crazy. Redfin will require many of our agents to resign from NAR. That is crazy. Now, after careful deliberation, Redfin will go further than resigning from the NAR board, requiring our brokers and agents to leave NAR everywhere we can, but they mostly can't, FYI. Most brokerages are only a loose affiliation of independent agents. That's so true. And none of us wants to impose a policy that could alienate any of the people who generate our revenue. This is Redfin acknowledging that, yeah, we want to take a break from NAR, but we can't. They can't do it. They have to use and be a member of the National Association of Realtors in like almost more than half of the country. NAR is a bunch of bullies, are like the mob of real estate. I'm not joking you. NAR is unbelievably strong and powerful. NAR has forced an all or nothing choice on us, but this all or nothing approach isn't of Redfin's choosing. NAR rules require us to leave local and state associations, even when our only beef is with the National Association. The rules require that for a broker to be a member, she must pay dues for each of the agents under her supervision, regardless of whether an agent wants to be a member. The rules further say that if the broker isn't a member, no agent under her supervision can be a member. So again, NAR has a monopoly on real estate. We know that. It's clear. In many markets, they cannot leave the National Association of Realtors. Here's what they say on that. But often we don't even have that choice. In about half the US, including cities like Charlotte, Dallas, Houston, Las Vegas, Long Island, Minneapolis, Nashville, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, we can't quit NAR individually or en masse because NAR membership is required for agents to access listing databases and even lockboxes and industry standard contracts. They can't even access contracts. Holy smokes. It is impossible to be an agent if you can't see which homes are for sale or unlock the door to those homes or even write an offer. Here's what they want from NAR. We want NAR to decouple MLS access from NAR support, and they will never do that willingly. They will have to be forced to do that because that's the only thing really that they have. I mean, that is the most valuable thing for the National Association of Realtors. And again, it's the sold data. The sold data is what is so important, not necessarily the listings. We can get the listings from many different websites. It's the sold data that's vital, in my opinion. We're asking NAR to decouple local access to these tools, including the listing databases known as Multiple Listing Service, or MLS, from support for the National Lobbying Organization. And they are the #1 lobbying organization in America. And 80% of that money is from the dues of agents. That's incredible to me. Agents shouldn't have to underwrite policies and legal efforts that hurt consumers. Exactly. When most of us get into real estate to help consumers, well, honestly, to get paid, let's be honest. Redfin's mission, after all, is to redefine real estate in consumers' favor. This last paragraph is incredibly powerful. We're committed to our industry's future. NAR isn't the future. That's heavy. Our disagreement is with NAR, not with our industry. Brokerages can compete on price and still cooperate to show all the homes for sale. Redfin will continue our full support of the MLS that brokers use to share listing data, and will remain friends with many fine people working with NAR and its local affiliates on economics, diversity, and pro-housing policies. We love our industry. We've tried to love NAR, but enough is enough. Incredibly, incredibly powerful. I'm going to keep this video short. Do me a favor, comment below. Let me know if you've learned anything more than you have over the last year about the National Association of Realtors, and let me know your opinion on the National Association of Realtors. I'm pretty sure most of us would agree that if consumers had access to the MLS, things would be much better in our housing market. And honestly, that would create great competition among agents. Essentially, the good agents would rise to the top. So I think it actually would be a great thing. But again, how are you going to get past NAR? They're the #1 lobbyist in the country. They have a stranglehold on the industry. And quite frankly, I don't think that we're going to be able to pry MLS out of their hands. But let me know what you think. And other than that, guys, if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you wins.